Welcome back. It is now 5:17, and here are the stories you need to know about this morning.
An update now on this morning's breaking news. A VFW post in Palmyra is destroyed after a fire last night. The intense flames and smoke caused the roof to cave in. It took more than 120 firefighters from 16 departments to put out the flames. The building has several banquet halls. Luckily, no one was inside when it caught fire. The cause of that is still under investigation.
Well, we begin this morning with some breaking news from Wayne County. A popular veterans hall destroyed by fire.
The fire was so big and the building so large, it took 120 firefighters from 16 departments to put out the flames. Now, it happened at the VFW post on Route 31 in Palmyra, that is just north of Port Gibson. The fire started just after 10:20 last night. The Veterans of Foreign Wars post has several banquet halls. Everything inside is ruined. The roof even caved in. Luckily, no one was inside when this fire started. Firefighters are still trying to figure out how.
We have a breaking news alert this morning from Palmyra in Wayne County. Firefighters spent the night battling a fire at the VFW post in town. 13 WHAM's Holly Maynard joins us from the scene with the latest. Holly, and it's still not clear what started that fire, right?
You know what, Norma? Actually, investigators do know what caused that fire, but we're still waiting word from Wayne County investigators to tell us exactly what that cause is.
Sure.
That's why they're no longer here. You can see what's left here of the structure here at the VFW. The firefighters and the investigators left within the past hour. They have wrapped up fighting the fire. They have wrapped up their investigation, we are told. And again, we're just waiting word. We've been playing some phone tag this morning with Wayne County investigators to find out exactly what caused that fire. Let me take you back, though. Let's look at some of the video from last night when this all started. Just before 10:15 last night, 16 to 20 fire departments were called in to fight this fire because of a number of things. A, because of the scale of it, it was such a large fire. B, because it was so cold out, so you need more firefighters to help take the different shifts, and also to help with the water supply. They needed to bring in some extra water. There was an automatic alarm that started, that alerted the emergency responders that they needed to come out here and take a look at the structure, and when they got here, they knew that this was much more than just a routine call. Take a listen into what the Ontario County Fire Coordinator had to say about it.
They come in as an automatic alarm. They got the initial first response, just like we would handle any other automatic alarm anywhere in the two counties. However, when they got here, they had visible fire. And
we have a breaking news alert from Palmyra in Wayne County, where firefighters spent the overnight battling a large fire at the VFW post. 13 WHAM's Holly Maynard is on the scene now with the latest. I know, Holly, you said a little while ago that you thought they were getting close to talking about the cause of this fire.
The latest update that we've received about the cause is that Wayne County fire investigators think they may have the cause of the fire. They're going to be back here later on this morning to be sure of what that cause is. So in just a little bit, we should expect more people to be on the scene. Take a look, Doug, at this area. This is the part of the VFW hall that was the banquet area, the banquet room, which could hold about more than 200 people. This is where they believe the fire started. Now, the kitchen is right behind the banquet area. That is still intact this morning. This is the area right here that is most heavily damaged. Again, this is where they think the fire started. Let's take a look at what this fire looked like last night, just before 10:15 or so, when the call came in. We are told now, the latest update that we have received is that 23 fire departments were called in to fight this fire. Departments from Monroe, Wayne, and Ontario counties. That is about 185 firefighters who were called in to fight this fire. Why did they need so many? A, because this was such a large fire. B, because of the cold weather, which makes it a little bit more demanding for the crews. And C, their main problem was getting enough water here. Here's what the Ontario County Fire Coordinator had to say about that.
We have two ladders in operation, so it draws on the municipal water, so they had to call in additional fire companies to truck water to help support the municipal water system.
But they were able to get enough water here because of that extra help. They were here for about 7 hours fighting this fire, left just a little bit ago this morning. And if you take a look, too, one more time at the top there, you can see there's no longer a roof there because it collapsed. That's why it's so important to point out that there were no injuries reported from this fire. Nobody was inside the building at the time. And again, 185 firefighters were fighting this fire. Nobody injured, though. They had a hint that the roof could collapse, so at that time, somebody blew the air horn. All of the firefighters got out of the building then, and yes, indeed, the roof did collapse. So when you think about it, Doug, it could have been much worse, but because of their training and, you know, what they had been trained to do, they got out in time.
Yeah, thank goodness they did. All right, thanks, Hal. We'll check back with you in a little while. I know later on this we're expecting to hear some more about the possible cause
Firefighters
of
are
that fire.
trying to find out what caused a massive fire at the VFW post in Wayne County. The fire broke out just after 10 o'clock last night in Palmyra. No one was inside the building at the time. A total of 16 fire departments from Ontario and Wayne counties were called in to help. We were down at the scene this morning and talked to some members about how they feel after this significant loss.
It's too bad. It's too bad. I've worked a lot of projects, and I'm not the only one. There's a lot of other people that put in a lot of time here, and it's got to hurt, especially VFW members, which there isn't too many of them left.
No one was injured in that fire.